I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. FDA Commissioner Robert Califf testified about the infant formula shortage during a Senate Health Committee hearing last week. During Chairwoman Patty Murray's opening remarks, she criticized the commissioner and the FDA for letting the situation get so out of hand. She called the shortage a massive, unacceptable failure by the FDA and decried the fact that parents and babies are now the ones that must deal with the consequences. Here's the senator's full opening remarks.
The Senate Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee will please come to order. Today, we are having a hearing on a nationwide infant formula shortage. I will have an opening statement followed by Ranking Member Burr, and then we will introduce our witness. After the witness gives his testimony, senators will each have 5 minutes for a round of questions. And again, while we were unable to have the hearing fully open to the public, or media for in-person attendance, live video is available on our committee website at help.senate.gov. And if you are in need of accommodation, including closed captioning, please reach out to the committee or the Office of Congressional Accessibility Services. Let me be clear. The fact that we even have to have this hearing, the fact that shelves are empty, the fact that babies across the country are going hungry and parents cannot find what they need to feed their infants is a massive, unacceptable failure. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The groups that families and caretakers depended on to help them in this moment, the FDA, infant formula manufacturers, all get an F in my book. There were plenty of warning signs about this crisis, and it seems like the people who are responsible for safety and supply here just blew through each and every one of them. And now, parents and babies are the ones dealing with the consequences. Now, Dr. Califf, I get that the FDA needs more people and more funding, and I will keep pushing to get you the resources needed to support your work, but I still do not get why some of the steps we're seeing now didn't happen a lot sooner. It's not like the FDA needed more warnings here. It's not like the FDA didn't have any idea this could be a problem. As far back as last fall, last September, just as FDA was conducting an inspection at Abbott's formula manufacturing facility in Sturgis, Michigan, Abbott and FDA received the first report of an infant sickened by Cronobacter bacteria after consuming infant formula. In October, an Abbott employee reportedly raised concerns with FDA about safety issues at that facility, which makes a huge amount of formula for U.S. families. But it took weeks for FDA to take action on the whistleblower's complaints and months for the agency's senior leaders to see the report, a matter of life and death importance due to, quote, mailroom issues. Dr. Califf, that does not instill confidence, nor does it explain away the many other warnings. In December, FDA and Abbott got a second report of a child infected by Cronobacter. Sadly, that child passed away. In January, a third report, and in February, a fourth complaint and a major formula recall from Abbott. Senator Casey and I sent a letter to Abbott promptly after the recall announcement way back in February when we first learned of these issues. We pressed for information about why it took so long to respond to these reports and demanded assurances that Abbott was taking every effort to work with its state, federal, and global partners to make this right and to make sure that it never happened again. We asked Abbott for documents about these safety issues by March 10th. That deadline came and went. Since early March, my office has been speaking with Abbott and with FDA about the issues related to that recall, including the supply of infant formula. But still, action was slow and information has not been forthcoming. Weeks after that conversation, FDA released the results of an inspection it started in January, an inspection which found contamination at the plant. Later in April, reporting highlighted long-standing failures in the FDA's food program, years-long delays, culture of inaction, decades of not prioritizing the food program, and it has all had a very real impact on families, including families who depend on formula. I will not allow the FDA to continue spinning its wheels on something as important as the food families feed their children. That is why I quickly sent a letter demanding answers from you, Dr. Califf. In that letter, I detailed the delay in FDA investigating the reports of potential contamination of Abbott formula, and I demanded information on how you will reform and improve the FDA food program. I have not yet seen a plan. Now here we are, months after Senator Casey and I first pressed for answers from Abbott and from your agency, so I can't for the life of me understand why things have gotten so out of hand. Now, the administration has taken some important steps recently. President Biden invoked the Defense Production Act to make sure infant formula manufacturers are at the front of the line for the ingredients that they need. Operation Fly Formula is now bringing millions of containers worth of formula directly to our shores, including yesterday's badly needed shipment. FDA has announced steps to increase the supply of safe and nutritionally adequate infant formula by increasing flexibilities on importation, and it has announced alongside Abbott that the Sturgis facility can soon start to safely resume formula production. This is all helpful, but let me be crystal clear. It all happened way too late. Back in 2021, when the first reports of potential contamination emerged, there should have been an immediate FDA response. And back in February, when Senator Casey and I recognized the need to get to the bottom of the formula recall, Abbott and the federal government should have been working together to make sure the shutdown of one plant did not explode into a crisis. Here we are. Now, I know parents won't rest easy until there's formula back on the shelves or until they can feed their kids, and I will not rest either. I'm going to keep pushing for more steps here in Congress, from the administration, and from the industry to fix this as soon as possible. Senator Casey and I led another letter to infant formula manufacturers calling on them to step up and produce more. We also led a letter to President Biden making clear there needs to be a formula coordinator at the White House leading a national strategy, because we have witnessed now how multifaceted this problem is. We need a coordinated response to ensure better accountability from industry, stronger FDA response, and swift action from the Department of Agriculture to do everything it can give to WIC recipients the flexibility they need. We also need to make sure that hospitals, NICUs, pediatricians, and state and local governments have the information and access to formula necessary to get the right formula to babies and infants with the most critical needs. We need to make sure retailers and suppliers are managing the supply in a way that is focused around families that need access to formula. And we need to get parents clear information and direction on what products to use, which products are equivalent, and where those products can be found or will be coming soon. It is incredibly frustrating to me we have yet to see a detailed plan for this, and that parents are having to coordinate things themselves on Facebook because the federal government still doesn't have a point person on this. So I'm going to keep pressing for answers for parents back in Washington State and across the country. Parents like Mac. He's a constituent of mine from Richland, Washington. He reached out to my office last week trying to find formula for his daughter and for other parents in the Tri-Cities area. Mac's daughter was born just 6 months into his wife's pregnancy. She remained in the NICU for 4 months before going home, and she needs a special kind of formula to help her grow and stay healthy. Because of this shortage, Mac has been searching high and low, day and night, to try and find it. Shopping at 6 different stores, getting donations from other parents on Facebook. His dad even brought 6 cans from Milwaukee, nearly 2,000 miles away. Mac is constantly worried about running out, and he has heard from parents across his community facing the same problem. Parents who are driving to store after store, finding only empty shelves, who are searching online and finding price gougers, who are trying to profit off the fact that babies are going hungry. Mac spoke with another mom who said when her baby was discharged from NICU, she was given a sample can of specialty formula and some ready-mix bottles, enough to last maybe 4 days. And the Facebook group Mac started now has over 800 members just trying to connect parents in the Tri-City areas to formula. As a mother and a grandmother, I know parents in Washington State won't just go as far to Milwaukee to get their kids the formula they need. They will go to the ends of the earth. But they should not have to. We should not, we cannot leave parents to fend for themselves. We should be getting them the formula and the information they need as soon as we possibly can. People desperately want to know how soon can they get the formula their kids need to stay healthy. Where should they go for it, especially for people who need specialty formulas like formula for preemies or for children with allergies? And what is the administration doing to stop the price gouging, to end this shortage as soon as possible, and to ensure that this never happens again? Parents need help, they need answers, and most importantly, they need formula now. I've been pressing HHS and the formula industry to help make sure we get families the formula they need. And believe me, I am not going to let up until parents like Mac can rest easy and don't have to call their senators for help finding baby formula. So Dr. Califf, I hope to hear from you today about exactly what steps the administration is taking to make this happen, as well as how FDA will address the pattern of delay and dysfunction we have seen throughout its food safety and nutrition efforts, not only its unacceptably slow response to complaints of contaminated formula, but also its stalled progress on other critical health, safety, and nutrition issues. With that, I will turn it over to Ranking Member Burr for his opening statement.